Alright, today we're going to install some mud flaps on a Volvo S90, and you can obtain these instructions, these official Volvo instructions, by doing a Google search for like Volvo S90 splash guard installation instructions or something like that is what I typed in, and went to an official Volvo website. There was a PDF. I clicked on that, printed it out, and they're listed for all the different car types, whether it's V90, XC90, S90, 70, 40, whatever it is. Look up your car, your year, and it'll tell you the part number and the instruction number you don't really care about. So anyway, you get the right one for your vehicle, and here it is in print. And then now I'm going to follow them exactly and show you how to install the front and the rear mud flaps. They are different. And one little thing I noticed, I've seen in a couple other videos, is you do not reuse the hardware that's on the vehicle now, and you install a clip that's hidden because they're not installed. So we will, on the rear, we're going to have to poke a hole and install the clip. There's a place for it. And then the mud flaps or splash guards, whatever you want to call them, are installed. And let's go to it. Okay, we are looking at a 2018 Volvo S90. We're going to install the mud flaps on there, and there's three ingredients. There is the hardware, the mud flap or splash guard, whatever you want to call it, and then there's some protective tape that goes on the side over there that you'll need to install. Alright, the tool you're going to need for this job is a T25 torque screw to remove the old screws and put in the new screws. I have seen some aftermarket ones that use a Phillips for the new hardware, but whatever. Okay, and again in this video I'm going to follow the Volvo instructions step by step. So step 1, turn the wheel. Okay, that exposes our screws, and now for the next step. Okay, now for the next step we'll remove these 3 screws down at the bottom. I think you can see 4 if you look up at the top a little bit, right in here, but the instructions say remove these 3 bottom screws. Alright, next we're going to put on our protective strip. Now they gave me some clear stuff, but I'm going to use something else. So I have this really nice rubberized material instead of just putting the tape on there, so I'm going to use that. It's the same as the Volvo procedure though. The clear tape just has a sticky back to it, and you peel away the protective coating and stick it on there. Alright, you can see where it goes just on the side of the car there, and that's going to protect the contact area right in here. Alright, now we'll put the piece on. It's going to go on like this. Okay, in this case, it's really important to start all 3 screws. Don't tighten one down, because the other 2 might not line up. So start all 3 screws before you tighten them down. Okay, front's installed. Let's look at the other side. Alright, and there's another side view. Okay, I'll straighten the wheel out, make sure there's plenty of clearance. Alright, the wheel turned without hitting it, which is good. And it's set for the other side, but I won't show that. We'll go to the back. Okay, for the rear mud flaps, we got the mud flaps, we got a pick. We have our screwdriver, torque screwdriver, 8 screws, and 2 clips. Okay, the instructions do not say remove the tire, and it looks like I should be able to get my tool in there to remove these 3 screws. The instructions are remove the 3 screws, fold this, it's almost a fiber, out of the way and clean the area up. So that's what I'm going to do off camera. Okay, I used to have a tool like this. It was a real pain in the ass, so I really didn't look for it. I think I still have it, but anyway, I wanted to show you what I did. So I was able to put a 1/4 inch socket onto a 1/4 inch drive ratchet, and put my T25 on there and unscrew it. Okay, all 3 screws are out. It says to move this aside and clean it up, so let's do that. Alright, what you want to notice, it's solid right in here, but if I move this flap out of the way, what you want to notice is that the hole already exists. So what we need to do is put our clip in and then poke a hole in the fabric. Okay, there we have it. Installation complete. Our 3 screws here and our 1 up at the top. And you can reach up underneath there to access the top screw if you need to, you know, figure out where it is to poke your hole, so you don't poke 2 or 3 holes in there and try and go crazy and figure it all out. Because when you pull this panel back, you know, it's not lined up, so it can be a little tricky for you. But anyway, I highly recommend taking the wheel off. Volvo does not say that in the instructions, so I didn't, and I was able to complete it. However, I do highly recommend that you take the wheel off to do this job. It just makes life a little bit easier for the do-it-yourself or mechanic. So there we are on the front, and there we are on the rear. Now the rear did not have a protective piece that went on the back here like the front did. I don't know why, wasn't in the instructions, and I didn't put one on. So anyway, there it is. Hopefully that'll keep some road tar off your fender there. Alright, I just have some post-work comments. I did find my tools, by the way. But anyway, you can use a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 1/4 inch socket to use the screws in, whether it's a Phillips or a Torx, whatever you use. These longer ones turned out to be Phillips. The original ones are Torx T25s. So anyway, also you can see that I only used one of the longer ones, and I used the original hardware to install the flaps, except for where I needed to put in the extra piece and poke a hole in there. So all in all, it wasn't that difficult. For a do-it-yourselfer, I highly recommend taking the tire off. You can reach up underneath the fender to work on the hidden one, or the one that's hidden until you poke the hole through the fiber. So anyway, all in all, it was fairly easy. Just pay attention to details, don't get in a hurry, and I think they should function very well. Alright, I zoomed in real tight because both on the front and the back there's basically a water trough in here. So as everything splashes up, it collects and drips off the mud flap. And you can't see the hidden screw that I put in there. And I'll wrap this up by showing you the front. Looks decent. And a tight shot of the front, again showing you the water trap. Thank you for watching.